Hello! Welcome back, literally welcome back, because we just finished recording my co-host, friend, and compadre here, Edson Cortiano, the Portuguese part of it, which was, one should say, a very long one. And this is the second part, totally, extremely, and completely, unequivocally, I like this word, unequivocally dedicated to those of you who either understand English and by extension need to practice the language, and nothing better than do that with us here, right now. And of course those who are learning English to an intermediate level or even lower. That's what I always say. Being in contact with the language is always important. So this is, as you already know, or if you don't know, you notice, judging by the fireplace we're just in front of, behind us, there's this beautiful fireplace. We're currently in Alaska at the Cristiano's ranch for Christmas.
Just a lodge.
Just a lodge, right? Just a lodge. You're a modest man.
Just a lodge.
So, Cristiano.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Hello everybody. Welcome to our show. It's the last one of the year, so we like that little expression, the last is the best. We're trying to do a very good show for you guys here with lots of ideas on how to achieve your goals, your targets. And I don't know if I have explained before, I have to wear this mask because it's unfair to other men if I don't wear the mask. I'm just too good looking, I'm sorry. And
it's a very discreet, a very modest.
Yes.
You don't even.
I have another one. Oops, let me show you.
People don't even notice when you're wearing this mask.
No,
it's just
let me
natural.
show you. I have this other one here that I also did recently. I'm gonna wear this one. It's not as.
That's a more aristocratical.
Mm-hmm.
I would say.
Like a lord, right?
Like a lord, totally lordish.
The House of Lord. Did you know that when Margaret Thatcher was the Prime Minister, she was the sexiest lady in England? Did you know that?
Absolutely.
Why was she the sexiest lady in England? Because when she walked into the Parliament, 500 members rose.
Oh, gosh. Oh, yeah.
Okay, people, what we're going to be talking about, Rodrigo is going to start, is how to achieve your goals, your targets. We are teleological creatures, no? We have to have a target for things to work in 2021. So, welcome to the show. We'll try to speak as clearly as possible. We have plans in the future to have subtitles, so hang with us. Try to understand, even if your English is not very fluent, the best. We're going to try to make it as clear as possible.
Absolutely. So, without further ado, some of you might already have noticed, especially those who do similar job, that is creating podcasts, creating conversations to be recorded, that there's usually a specific father of the baby. Okay, we're two. Sometimes Edson comes up with the idea. Sometimes I do. In this case, I came up after reading this book you're seeing on the screen right now. I have no idea, to be honest, how it was published in English. If it was published in English, of course. Certainly it was. But it's in a free translation. It's a German book, all right? I read it. I listened to it. I didn't read it. I listened to it.
In German?
Not in German, in Portuguese. But the author is German, and it's called Think, Do, Change, right? So what is interesting in what from reading this book, out of hundreds of self-help books that I am constantly reading, I'm really into it. What from this specific material brought me up to this idea of recording a podcast partially dedicated to this one is that it is traditional as all other good self-help books out there, but it's it comes diagonally, as I like to say, meaning that it brings the necessary criticism and, why not, skepticism over the self-help techniques. This is not a podcast really dedicated to criticize, to debunk, to rant. There are many terms used on the internet these days about getting an idea and smashing it down and saying, well, this is a piece of crap. This is certainly not the case, but it brings a more critical look to the self-help techniques, because at the end of the day, we're talking results, right? And again, being a wealthy person is not absolutely related to money, There are certainly rich people, financially speaking, but miserable, emotionally speaking. So, come on, at least we don't want that. I want to be rich, wealthy in all senses possible, in all possible senses, right? So that's the reason why I understand having some level of criticism and, why not, skepticism over if you're, of course, on this path of becoming a wealthy person, becoming, as they say, a better version of yourself, right? So it's important to have this kind of skepticism.
So you could say that the person who is rich only monetarily is actually quite poor, right? Because you have to be rich in many other spheres.
Absolutely.
So that your life can be meaningful, right?
Yeah. One of the things that the books quotes, and if you will listen to it or read it, you will see, is the fact that people think that much based on the Secret book by Rhonda Byrne, right? It's this Australian
Rhonda, I don't get her.
Rhonda Byrne, yeah.
Byrne.
I say chick. It's certainly a lady. Is 60 in her 60s right now. Anyways, not putting down, not smashing, not debunking her book. It's a wonderful work. I like that book. I read it. Just probably all of you did read it years ago. It's a great book. I read it twice, to be honest. I mean, 3 times. One in French and twice in Portuguese.
The movie also, right?
And I saw the movie multiple times.
Yeah.
So it's an important work. But he says that, he doesn't quote the book, but he says that many people sit in front of TV every end of day, every evening of their lives, and then think that only by projecting a positive thinking, all the rest will work it out itself. And we know it's not true, I mean, good things can come up out of nowhere, can come unexpected. But as a matter of a rule, a universal rule, I would say, only bad things happen spontaneously. Good things you need to really make it happen, right? So this is basically the focus of this book. It's like telling you, dude, you already know the theory. How about making action out of it, right? So it's basically, I would summarize. I didn't say that in the Portuguese version, but I think that the audience got it anyways. So there are 3 quotes that I like to share here, because we have this thing of it's a
citation of the day.
Corciano's idea of doing the citation of the day, and there are 3 specific ones in this book which are very, very good. I'm going to be very quick on it because the idea is to summarize this part of in English, right? Because probably you have seen it in Portuguese. If not, anyways, just let us know. We depend on your feedback, okay? It's going to be a big pleasure if there are people from abroad, from other countries, English-speaking,
native speakers. Hi, Harris.
Hi, John. There's a John and a Harris watching it right now. It's your duty.
Hi, Robert.
It's your legal obligation to say hi down.
Yes, you have to write a comment, say hi, guys, or something.
So 3 quotes coming from this. One is a Chinese proverb. Proverb. Proverbs. It's when you like verbs, you say I'm a proverb, man.
You like verbs. I'm proverb.
Proverb.
Yes.
So a Chinese proverb that says, I can hear your words, because your actions speak so loud. This is very interesting. This, no wonder. Edson will say very interesting things about Chinese culture later on in this episode. But it's very interesting that the pragmatism behind this sentence is like, no matter what you say at the end of the day, I mean, what you say is important. But no matter how much or even what you say, your actions will be the
What you do, your actions speak louder than your words.
precisely. So this is one. This quote. This is I got it from this book. It's not his creation, not his phrase, but he quotes it. And then after one of the other one I wrote down to share with you guys here. The best moment to sow a tree or to plant a tree. Plant a tree, right? Sow is more for other kinds of plants, for example. Anyways, so the best moment to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best is right now. So one of the things that we see people, punishing themselves, because I should have. Why didn't I start in the past? Why didn't I start yesterday? Indeed, you should have started in the past, yesterday, 1 year ago, 10 years ago. But since you didn't, how about starting now? Really killing off this procrastinating natural.
Or this excuse, this pretext. I'm not going to do it because I'm too old. I should have started many years ago. No, come on, start now.
And third, and this is the greatest one from this book, says, create like a god, command like a king, work like a slave.
That's very good.
That's so, if you really get this, and write it somewhere where you can constantly see it, there's no way you're the same person, Reaching or not your targets, which will show you you are going to reach. So are we. But this is so, true and so direct, so, precise that we could just say bye now and that's it, end of story.
Let me repeat. Create like a god. Command like a king. Work like a slave. Great. Wow.
And it's a kind of an engine system that if you take away any part, there are 3 parts, right? In this phrase.
Right.
If you take away any one of them,
it doesn't work.
It's not. It doesn't work.
It has to be the 3 parts working together.
And there's much symbology on the 3. 3 thing. Number 3. We're certainly gonna talk more about that in the future, in upcoming episodes. But yeah, so I brought here my personal advice, my personal words of advice to you. As far as you want to reach your targets, your dreams. Why not put it this way, for the upcoming year, for 2021, right? Again, this is not because. We say that in the Portuguese part of it, in the Portuguese session. If you just take me as an example, as a role model right now of success, I'm afraid you're gonna get disappointed, But I'm sure of 2 things. First, it doesn't matter who says, it's important. There's the relevance of the speaker, of course. But good things are good things, So that's what I'm counting on for the present moment. And secondly, I believe that this is going to be public later today, and I hope it's going to remain forever, for the next 40 years, 100 years, and history will be my helper here in terms of, when he spoke those words, he was a John Doe. But now the guy is filthy rich. He's great, or a successful writer, whatever, And this video will be seen by people in the future. If you're seeing me, if you're watching me years from now, hello. And I would say it's a clear proof that what I'm saying works. Right?
Google me now and read about me.
Exactly.
Knock your socks off.
So this podcast, this episode, why I'm bringing this with you, it doubles my responsibility over becoming the person I want to become. I'm not going to share any more about that because it's going to be a spoiler. There's many more episodes of CWB cast coming. You're going to know much more about me.
And we have a little commercial for our podcast now.
Yeah?
Yes.
Oh, very good.
Okay. So some people get depressed at this time of the year. So we have the solution for that. Start, my friend.
Are you feeling word weary, discombobulated, frayed around the edges, I would say the eggs, unraveled, off kilter.
Solution. Listen to an episode of CWB Cast and you will feel
Bitching,
tubular,
groovy,
splendid,
rad,
exuberant,
A1,
top-notch,
gemiti,
psychagogic,
sniptulous,
sniptuous.
easy word, all simple things, right?
Very simple things. Go on, Rodrigo. Sorry to interrupt, but it's a commercial. It's
Very
necessary
good.
now.
The complaints of bling bling, as Faustão would say,
Bling
Master
bling.
Faustão would say. Anyway, so my personal advice is divided into 3 pieces. Number 1, know what you want. All right. Well, that may sound ridiculous, like, oh, I know what I want. I want to be rich. That's not what I mean. You know, that's not what I mean. What I mean when I
want to
say
be happy.
Yeah, I want to be happy. I mean, how happy? How rich? Be more, be more specific.
Yes.
I want to be a rich tennis player. I want to be a rich author. I want to be a rich doctor. Whatever. So that's step number 1, okay? Because as I say, and I just wrote it here to read it. That's why we call them objectives, right? I know in English, you can work as target goal, right? It's a more academic, I would say, more like, not exactly day by day as we use it in Portuguese, but that's why we say objectives, not subjectives. So your objectives, your goals, your targets, your dreams must not be subjective. Otherwise, it's hard even for yourself to figure out how we're going to do, when, where we're going to get there. Second part, and just as a complement to this first one, is this is a very important one. People don't even realize that. The first one is a tricky part because people think they know, but sometimes they don't. In this case, they know that they don't know, right?
They fool themselves many times.
The second part,
we fool ourselves.
The second part is even harder because people know that they don't know. It's the absolute ignorance in this part. All due respect, of course, is that know exactly where you're going to give in exchange to this thing. That's it. You heard me correctly. Nothing will come. I think it's about time that we figure out that things have a price. Things come at a price. At least the good ones. At least the things you wanna go after. The things you want present in your life. There must be an exchange. For example, I'm gonna get rich by being a doctor. What am I gonna give in return? I'm gonna start studying every day. I'm gonna become the best doctor in town. I'm gonna save many people's lives. I'm gonna have Christmas cards floating my mailbox every end of year because so many people respect and like me.
Right.
The mailman gonna be like, oh my god, man, just drop it in the front yard. That's something in return. That's you giving this in return, right? And this works for anything, really anything, right? Number 3, make real, make material your objectives, your targets by writing them computer, a Word, a document, or on a piece of paper, which I encourage you the best right now. Edson will certainly talk more about that. And this brings us to the famous 5 WHs, the 5 Ws, or the cycle that you follow, which in fact are 6, right? But we don't care much about numbers here. The 7 monos are 8, and if you just press a little bit carefully, you realize that they're not 8, they're 9,
yes.
Because one of them is in heaven, but
yes.
It's forever a mono. There's no
statute of limitation for being a mono.
You don't withdraw this.
Once you are a mono forever.
Yes. So 9, right? But 7 monos anyway. So we're not so much. We have a peculiar understanding of numbers.
Yes. Our numbers are more flexible than they usually are.
Pretty much. 2 plus 2 might be 5 if you just squeeze gently.
5 or 6 or 3.
So we'll go by what. That is exactly what you wanna have or achieve in your life. and as I said, what you're gonna give in return to it, where you need to understand the place, the location where your project will take place. That's why you say take place. How you need to know and visualize exactly how you're gonna make this happen. Remember what I said a few minutes ago? Things that you have to make things happen. You have to make the wheel spin, right? Otherwise, you're counting on luck, and we know that luck usually brings bad things. Sometimes good things, of course, but usually good things you have to make happen, right? So you need to know. In order to make happen, you need to know how, right? In order to get on a car and start driving, you need to know how to do that, right? Exactly how to do that, piece by piece, part by step by step. So the next one, number 4, who. You need to understand if your target, if your goal is a solo. If you're doing that by yourself, there's nothing wrong about that. There are targets you do alone, you do on your own. But there are targets, there are goals, there are dreams, you dream together, right? We have a very famous Brazilian singer in the 80s called Raul Seixas, who would say, if you dream a dream together, it's a reality, right? So some dreams you really dream together. That's a fact, right? So you need to know exactly who's going to be part of your dreams.
You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you join us, and the world will be as one.
That's a beautiful
John Lennon.
lyrics.
Imagine.
John Lennon. And then number 5, when. Time is very important. Not only on related to when you're going to start working this out, to, of course, your deadlines. I know many people don't like this word, but deadlines are necessary.
Yes.
So you can check your progress and you can evaluate your own progress, right?
Metrics are important.
Metrics are totally important. The language of the universe is mathematics.
Yes.
Numbers. So
whatever you can quantify, you have some control over. What you cannot is up there.
Yeah, exactly. And then, last but not least, why? That is the reason, right? Because sometimes, for some targets, for some goals, you're going to have all the other 5 words settled, right? But then you get to the why, the reason why you're doing this, and then you just feel in your heart, tell yourself that, well, maybe this is not worth the effort. Or maybe, I have not the right reasons, intentions. And sometimes you even throw it away. That's not a shame. That's not a problem. A problem is if you pursue a dream, a target, going after a dream or a target that is fated to fail. That's a problem. So my final reference here is the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. If you're an American and you're watching me now, you probably know this was a very prominent American author on the self-help and self-development who lived in the past century. And it's kind of unnecessary to tell you how much I recommend the books or everything that this guy did in life. And if you're Brazilian like myself, like Cristiano, just give it a chance. If you haven't already read it, perhaps you should use it as a way to practice your English. Start reading English. His books in English. It's a very
accessible language. He wrote it in a very simple language. You can read it. If you are intermediate level, advanced level, you can read Napoleon Hill's books. They are very, very well written, very clear, very accessible.
And of course, Napoleon Hill I know very well. I believe I read everything out there that he wrote. But now, just as a counterbalance, I'm going to make a referral to a guy that I am starting to follow. Maybe I will regret, probably not, but maybe it's a possibility. Judging by the logic, it's a possibility. That is Simon Sinek. Or Sinek, I don't really know how to pronounce his last name, his surname. But he's got very interesting lectures on YouTube. You can watch them. But he's got a very interesting line that goes, if you don't understand people, you don't understand business. All right. We have a very famous businessman here in Brazil, Luciano Hang. aka Old Man of Avan, the Old Man of Avan, velho da van, who put it in a more charming, at least to me, a way that goes 100% off the customers or people, 100% off the employees or people. If you don't understand people, sorry, you don't understand business. So with this, I leave Corciano to bring some quite interesting
Very good.
pieces.
What Rodrigo is doing here is one of my gurus is called Brian Johnson, and he writes these philosopher notes, which are very similar to what he just did about this book. He does about lots of books about psychology, philosophy, and so on. And I think he has the dream job, to read books and to make a summary of the books. And he records a little audio with like 20 minutes audio about the book. And,
Just one quick observation, one quick quote. I didn't say that in the Portuguese section. Sorry, guys. But it's a cool one. Everything you do as a hobby, you bet there's someone somewhere in the world doing as a profession or making money out of it.
Making money out of it. Everything you can think of, yes. If you like miniatures, there is this guy making miniatures.
Make money.
If you like,
Probably rich.
If you make a mask like I do, there are people making masks
Making
and
money.
making a lot of money out of masks. True. Very good quote.
This is a teaser, like when you say, "Oh, I don't have a dream." Do you have hobbies? Do you do things for fun? Yes. So you do have dreams. Come on.
Yeah, I like to play the guitar. We know that lots of people are very famous and make a lot of money playing the guitar.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so the idea of the podcast, as Rodrigo started the game here, is to talk about how you can achieve your targets, your goals, how you can hit your targets, how you can achieve your goals in 2021. And my take on it is we get to where we want to go by paving the road very carefully with small paving slabs. And for me, these paving slabs are habits, good habits that you implant in your life and that you do consistently, and they normally take you where you want to go. I have many such habits. If you ask me how many habits I have, I will not know, but I do have some that are very, very major, very important. Perhaps the biggest one, the most important one, is meditation. I started meditating like 10 years ago, and I haven't missed one day in 10 years.
All right, just we had a quick interruption here, technical interruption. Not gonna bother you guys with that. So you were talking about meditation.
That I was mentioning the fact that meditation is one of my pillars. It's a habit that I've been doing daily for at least half an hour every day, perhaps two small parts of like 15 minutes, 20 minutes in the morning and another 20 minutes in the evening. And meditation is a fundamental habit for me. And I have many other habits that really help me reach my goal. My goal is to be the best person I can be, to help as many people as I can help. And I said this before in the Portuguese part, and I'm going to repeat now. I have never in my 65, I know I look 18 or 20, but I'm really 65, yeah. My 65 years on this planet, I have never been as happy, as fulfilled, as meaningful for myself as I am now. And I think this is the result of implanting these little habits. Some of them are little, some of them are a little, demand more time and more energy, but they are all fundamental. So one of the habits that I really recommend, that if you don't have a meditation practice, start one.
I can second that.
It's
totally.
the story of the tree that he mentioned. If you don't have you should have started meditating. I told him a little story that I'm going to repeat here. I teach a lot of teenagers, people who are going to do vestibular, this entrance exam tests. And they are like 17, 18, 16. And I sometimes tell them, kids, Start meditating now. If I had started meditating when I was 16, like you are, I would be able to float now. I would be able to fly. I would be resplendent.
Superhuman.
I would be a Buddha. It's not true, of course, but I thought I had to put the volume down.
It's okay, no problem.
Sorry about that. This is really a very important habit. But the point was, if you don't have it now, if you didn't start 10 years ago, start now. Now is the second best time. You know, it's going to bring you many, many benefits.
You should never throw the towel. Like, never give up.
Okay, this is a whole other podcast all about meditation. We should invite Robert for this one.
Absolutely, yeah.
Robert is
Yeah.
terrific. He's my meditation teacher, my meditation coach. Because he's Australian. He's not my guru, he's my kangaroo.
That's it. That's the end of it. Good night, guys. See you.
That was pretty good. Okay, so the other habits. I'm going to talk very briefly about some other habits. But I like the ones that I can show you. And one of the things that I really, really dig is lucid dreaming. You lucid dream when you become aware in a dream that you are dreaming. And to reach this goal, which is a very lofty goal, it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
You can't do it every night. But anyway, to be lucid sometimes, you have to start practicing some little habits, implanting some little habits during the day. For example, there are apps, for example, that ask you to check your reality, do reality checks, they're called, okay? To check if you are awake. Of course I'm awake, you are going to say. But you know, when you are dreaming, you don't realize that you're dreaming. For you, it's all that is true.
It's trickier than usual.
It's a lot trickier than you think. Maybe we are all dreaming, you know. I know we aren't, but you know, you have to check. You have to check earnestly,
I think it's
honestly.
Copenhagen Paradox. The man dreamed he was a butterfly, and then he woke up and he was a man. Or he's dreaming he's a man, he's actually a butterfly in another dimension. Copenhagen Paradox.
Well, so I have some little habits, like I have this little medallion here that I always carry with me everywhere, and on this side, it's day now, so it has the sun, and it says Lucid Live, Lucid Viv, which is Latin for to live lucidly, and underneath it has, am I awake? It's a question. So you look at this and you try to remember what's written on the other side, on the flip side of the coin, of the medallion. I remember, it says Lucid Vive, in the back is Dormiens Vigila, which is Latin for I am awake while I'm sleeping. Mm-hmm. And it probably the question is, am I dreaming? So I turn it over, Dormiens Vigila, am I dreaming? I guessed it right and I can read it right. It means I'm awake. Because if I were dreaming, maybe it would change. The back of the medallion would be not a moon, but whatever, a dog it could be. I probably wouldn't be able to read it. So this is one cute reality check. The other one for you guys who watched Inception is this little thing here, this little top. In Inception, Leonardo DiCaprio wanted to know if he was awake or if he was dreaming. So he would do this.
What's a little longer than the first time?
Yeah.
So we're probably dreaming, man.
Maybe we're dreaming, man. No, we're not. Oh, and you fell. That was so cute, man.
We're totally not.
We couldn't do that again if you wanted to.
Even if you wanted.
If the top stops the spinning, it means that you are awake. In a dream, it would never stop spinning. And there are other reality checks, like for example, your hands are excellent for reality checks because they are always with you, right?
Yeah.
They accompany wherever you go. Hopefully, if that chops off your hands. So one of the things you can do is this. In the dream, this finger goes right through the palm of your, because the dreams are not substantial. So you do like this, your finger goes through. You know you're dreaming. Or you count your fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 5, most probably because you were awake. If you're dreaming, they may be 4. You know, some 2 may be. Your hands are always a little weird in dreams. So this is another habit that leads to a goal that I have. There is nutrition. I practice intermittent fasting. There is the sleep, which is a fundamental thing in your life. You know, if you sleep well, everything goes well in the waking hours. So for good sleep, for example, I have some practices like digital sunset that I have talked about in other episodes. So that's another goal that I have, to have a good night's sleep, 8 hours, to wake up rested, restored. And so I have implemented some little habits that lead me to this goal. What else? I want to learn English in 2021. I want to be a fluent English speaker. So you have to implement some little...
Improve my skills.
Improve my skills. Yeah, I can read English, okay, but I need to listen, to understand more, and to be more fluent when speaking. So you are going to have to implement some. I want to increase my vocabulary. Some ideas to increase your vocabulary. You have these little word cards that you can take everywhere you go and practice. These ones are from a set called 1100 Words You Need to Know. It's for Americans who are preparing for that exam they have called SAT, Scholastic Abilities Test.
Yeah.
So you practice, you know, you buy the little thing, you study a couple of words every day, 5 words, 10 words, whatever you can absorb. When I was studying English, I did a lot of my own cards. For example, these ones. You know, I wanted to learn the word throb, so I write the word throb on one side, and I write on the other side to beat rapidly or violent, the definition, examples, and so on. So, what's good about the little cards is that they are portable, right? You can take them wherever you go. Another good habit that helps you psychologically, helps you in the direction of your goals, is journaling. To write a journal. This is a journal for lucid dreams, for dreams. They help you achieve your objective of having lucid dreams. Because if your subconscious notices that you wake up, you try to remember your dreams, you write your dreams. Your subconscious...
It's a beautiful cover, by the way. I didn't say that in the first part.
It's very nice, isn't it?
And it encourages you to write.
Yeah, it's really, really beautiful.
Take a look.
I haven't started yet. This is my new one. Let me show you my old one.
This is not so beautiful cover.
Yeah, it's black. And this one is my old dream journal from last year. But I'm very diligent, as you can see. I filled it completely. There are maybe 400, 500 dreams in here. Some of them I illustrated, you know. I remembered an image from the dream, and I illustrate the image. Like here, there's a little illustration. Of course, you're going to say, man, this is a lot of work. Look at that.
That's it.
It's a lot of work.
You dream a lot.
I dream the same as everybody else, but I make an effort to remember and to record. And so this is another little habit that helps with lucid dreaming. Writing a normal diary, like this one I call Goals and Targets. I try to write here some of the things that I want to accomplish. For example, this one measures my blood pressure to see if it's okay, my heartbeat, we said this before, whatever you don't measure, you kind of lose. If you measure things, if you keep track of things, you can see if you are going in the direction you want to go, right? So, every day I write my goals, what I want to accomplish that day, sometimes how much money I want to make, sometimes there's calendars and stuff like this. This is a journal. The habit of journaling is a great habit. So this is another habit I have implanted, and I have many
I
diaries.
totally second that.
Yeah. I especially like my gratitude journals. I prepare them using photo paint. Takes me a couple of hours to prepare
They're so
or
nice.
2 days, and these I share these gratitude journal templates on my Facebook page. I Love English. Look it up if you want to download them, and then you print them. I try to print them in the best possible paper because I like the physicality of it.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
the colors look great, and you do.
How
little,
bright it is, brightful, right?
It's bright, and it's the colors almost ask you to lick them. They are so
Nice.
delicious. I want to lick these
It's
colors.
tasty.
Look at this. Look at this Michael J. Fox quote.
I think
I'm reading a book.
I think the more unexpected something is, the more there is to learn from it. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I write little quotes. I write my gratitudes, what I'm grateful for. I write, for example, one part is my daily affirmation. So I write, I am a human being with many flaws, but I am also a compassionate mass. I'm both compassionate inwardly and outwardly, so I want to be a compassionate person. I write this as a daily affirmation. I am a compassionate person.
And I know it sounds silly, and people say, "Oh, how silly is writing things?" Reaffirmation, as you say, personal affirmations. There's a very interesting book. If I haven't recommended it to you, I'm doing it now. It's a German. It's an Austrian book. I didn't read it in German, unfortunately. I have it in Spanish. I read it in Spanish, to be precise. It's called Is Reality Real?
Is reality real?
Is reality real? It is precisely talking about that. How important it is to, strategically. That's what I believe you do. And emotionally repeat things, constantly repeat things. Because sometimes things start to in fact playing an existence role in your life when you give the constant and suffice
These
number
are
of
very,
repetitions.
very ancient practices that go back millennia, people. The mantras, Rama, 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 they repeat this several times, and it infuses them with the spirit of Rama, which has all the goodness in the universe. So affirmations also work. They are a good habit. If you can say affirmations during the day, they really help you, give you positive feedback, positive motivation, right? So, what else? The last one I'm going to talk about is this one here. I'm going to read it. It's from a book. We have our little quotes, right?
Yeah.
It's from a book by Mingyur, and I can never pronounce his last name. His first name is bad enough, Mingyur, to pronounce. But he is a monk, and he describes this practice in his book In Love with the World. In Tibet, that Tibetan little ritual, little habit, when they go to bed, they wash all their cups and they put them down like this. Right side, wrong side on the upside down. Not the right position for a cup. The next morning when they wake up, they turn it right side up, and they say, I can see, I can hear, I can taste, I can think, I'm alive, I thank you, I'm ready to receive. And the first thing you receive is a little tea, and the tea tastes delicious, and that's how you start your day. It's another little habit that works really well. Another little habit like this I have is whenever I put my 2 feet on the ground, when I wake up, when I get out of bed, I go to the mirror where I wrote a little sort of text that is at the end of the movie Ad Astra with Brad Pitt. And I don't even have to read it because it's been there for a while. It's something like this. I'm steady, calm, I slept well, no bad dreams. I am active and engaged. I'm aware of my surroundings and of the people in my immediate sphere. I'm attentive, I'm focused on the essentials to the exclusion of all else. I am unsure of the future, but I am not concerned. I'll rely on those closest to me, and I will share their burdens as they share mine. I will live, and I will love. Submit. He says submit because he's recording it for a psychologist, because he's had all these problems. At the end, he finds himself, he finds his wife again, and he says these words, which I think are beautiful words. They are like a philosophy. I don't know who wrote them, but a sort of an affirmation, right? I'm aware of my surroundings. That's very important. I practice meditation that is called mindfulness, which is exactly about that, being aware of where you are, of your surroundings, of what's happening. So this is another little habit. I have, as I told you, many of these little habits. I think they really pave the road to the direction I want to go, which is the direction of optimizing my life and helping other people optimizing their lives. I am a teacher and a coach, and that's my job. That's what I do. I try to help people learn English. I try to help people learn better nutrition, better sleep habits, better exercise habits, and so on and so forth.
Wonderful. Let's talk about this little guy here. What is the little Oscar statue? This last but not least, the real final part of this conversation. Well, the story behind this little statue, Oscar statue here, is that yesterday he shared a video with me that I would like to share. We would like to share it with you. So please watch it now.
You're gonna love it.
Hello, speaker, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again. It's a story of some downs and ups, of the Eagles and their Premiership Cup, of a year which finished with our share of the GST for our treasury. That's been the year in Parliament. The legislation program's grand. Plastic bags have now been banned. We've now got sewerage bollards out the front, looking like an opposition stunt. Members keep giving speeches that no one understands. Some good, some bland. That's been the year in Parliament. And in this parliamentary hall are a dozen members, maybe more. Members talking without speaking. Members hearing without listening. Members giving speeches that no one ever hears. And no one cares. That's what it's like in Parliament. So, Mr. Speaker, close the gate. Do it now, lest it's too late. Get the crayfish and the sparkling wine. All the members form a Congo line. And the Christmas message is written on the parliamentary walls and the Christmas balls. Merry Christmas from Parliament. From Parliament.
All right, so the moment he just sent me this video, my first reaction, I don't know if the meme will work in English as it works in Portuguese. It probably does work in English as well. I just wrote down in a funny way, bring an Oscar to this legend, right? So he said,
and the Oscar goes to...
So he says, would it perhaps be this one? He just took a photo from this statue, and I said, well, how about you bringing it over for yesterday's episode? Because of course, for talking legends.
If I got the Oscar of World's Greatest Teacher of 2019, I would really like to get another one from my students of 2020. Students, please, do I deserve an Oscar?
Absolutely, yeah. So the legend here, it's you, just being here with us, honoring us with your company here. It's really a big pleasure. So don't spare comments, good, positive or negative comments.
Questions.
Be yourself at home. Questions.
I didn't get what Lucid Dream was. Please, can you explain a little better? I'll try my best to answer and give you a better answer than I did spontaneously here, because when you have time to think and put into words and write, it always comes out prettier and nicer and more clearer.
Yeah. But that's it for this. I wouldn't say even for this episode. I would say that's it for this year, 2020. Gratitude, we must have gratitude for the things that happen every year, and this year is not different. Good or bad things, they're all important to our learning and evolving process, I would say. So I believe I'm quite satisfied with this year for channel. So well, I wish, of course, first you and our audience here, our company here, Merry Christmas this year, wonderful New Year's Eve, and even more wonderful 2021.
The same. I make Rodrigo's words mine. I wish you a very, very good Christmas, mindful one. Be careful out there, careful with the celebrations. We're living in very dangerous times. The COVID-19 is very, very bad virus. You have tried not to catch it, so be careful about how you celebrate. Mostly virtual, unfortunately, has to be led this way, but it will be better next year. There will be a vaccination and things will be a lot better. I wish you a great 2021, and thank you very, very much for attending our poor podcasts here, and we're gonna make it better next year if we can. We'll do our best to do it. Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Ciao.